Hi there, and thanks for joining this little video. In this video I'm going to demonstrate the task dispatching, the air-to-ground scenario, and I've created a new scenario with a little more complexity so that we can now demonstrate task dispatching for areas, including a scoring setting with goals. So let me go to the mission editor quickly and show you the mission setup, and then we can play. Alright, so this is the mission. It's very simple. I got a recce here, a red one, which is detecting targets here and here and here. I got one tank, all weapons on hold, and I got a helicopter here that I'm not using at the moment in the demo. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to join this attack tank, which is a BMP-3. In the meanwhile, this recce will detect targets around the target area. In this demonstration, the detection will happen in a different manner, and the detection areas class will be used that will group the detected units per area in a certain zone. These zones are dynamically defined and will be how do you call it, bounded, or will be, with a boundary will be created around these zones with tires, red tires. And I will show you in a minute how this looks like. But before I do that, let me go quickly to the mission. Where was I here? So I'm having task dispatching TAT 220. And I must tell you that I've also been fixing a bug that I found while doing this demonstration session, where hit targets were not correctly accounted for, and that has been fixed right now. So we, as explained in the previous video, I'm having a headquarters set up. I'm creating a command center from the headquarters. I'm having a scoring set up again, which I'm attaching to the mission. And then I'm creating a forward air controller set, which is currently only occupied by one unit, which is this one, which has the name FAC. So I'm having a filter here, Red Coalition FAC, so everything starts with FAC, will be part of the set. Then I'm setting up, and this is the difference from the previous video. So I'm having a detection areas class now that I'm utilizing, which is using the forward air controller set, and which is grouping the detected targets into zones with a range of 400 meters. So anything in a range of 400 meters will be grouped. And then some nice feature that I'm doing here for test is that I've developed in the detection mechanism is the FAC areas object. When it detects targets, it will automatically bound the zones with red tires, and I will show you the red tires. For the rest, I'm having the attack groups, which is basically, in this case, helicopters, but not just air units. You can also have ground units attacking. And for example, you can have a close air support mission where you have ground units also supporting this attack. Perfectly feasible, I think. And, well, then we're setting up the task dispatcher, as I explained before. The first parameter is the mission that was set up here. The second is the attack groups, which you have here. And then the FAC areas, right, the forward air controller areas, which will be the detection areas. So depending on the detection results here, you will see now a completely different kind of task dispatching, which is not done in a mobile unit, as shown in the previous video, but which is shown here by zones that were identified during the detection. Something else that I'm going to do is I'm going to explain you when a player joins a task. This task air-to-ground dispatcher is actually what we call a finite state machine, which is a process working in the background. And if a player joins, then there is an event triggered, and that event is called a sign. And that event can be handled automatically by defining a function on after and then the word assign, having these parameters. And then you can use the given task parameter here to start using the task functions or methods, and in the task object tasking, so there's a task class, task air-to-ground task, which is created in the dispatcher, which is given as a parameter here, that you can then start saying set score on destroy. So if I'm destroying a target, I want to give 20 points to the player that destroyed the target. When I have success of the task, I want to give 200 points to the player and saying the task has been successfully completed. But if it fails, if the task fails, for example, if the player gets killed or if anything happens, and that can be decided by the mission designer, then I have the task has failed completion, and I'm giving a penalty of 100 points. I'm not going into this yet, but this is the demo. So let's kick off the demo. Okay, I'm in the mission now. As you can see, I'm having the helicopter, the KA-50, and Game Master. What I'm going to do is I'm going to join Game Master at this moment and watch carefully what happens with the mission. So the recce is now starting to detect targets, and it has quickly identified them. It's a bit mathematical, and the algorithms, remember the bound here, that statement, right? So once the detection run is done, then that statement will put borders around the zones that have been identified. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to destroy these targets here. Okay, so let me join here this tank. Here we are. It's a BMP3, and I'm going to wait until I get a report. Here we are. Let me pause this, what this report is all about. So I'm having the headquarters reporting a C task. There is somewhere a zone where there is a radar emitting target, and I'm having close air support targets which are of threat level 7, 2, 9 and 7. So the highest threat level of the unit that's within the zone will determine the threat level. For this class I am giving the coordinates in latitude, longitude, which I think will be very appreciated by a lot of people in the DCS community. And I'm going to rework as well the unit task dispatching reports like this per unit, and of course. So let me go now further into the mission. I'm going to select task number 2, CAS02. That's what I'm going to select with threat level 2. Bear in mind that I have everything weapons on hold. So let me do this. It's going to be F3 here. Right. So now I am assigned. And I'm going to gun one of these targets. Right. So here I am gunning them. Okay, they can take a number of hits. So that one is burning. Look at the messages. I got 2 hits, so I got 2 points. Alright. A hit below 1 second, 2 or 3 hits below 1 second is not accounted for. Now, here is something interesting. So I got here a message saying, okay, I killed 1 target, and now I got 3 targets left within the task. So now I'm going to this one, and I'm going to kill this one. Right, I'm going to kill this one. Right, and see the messages appearing. There you go. I'm gonna just, really molest them. Now you can see, and forget the account that's and everything. These are test messages that I'm using to understand the state machine transitions. But now you can see here something really interesting, and that is the task CAS002 has been successful. Good job. And remember the setting that I had done here, right? That one here, no, sorry, that one here is now saying I'm getting an extra of 200 points and the task has been successfully completed. So this task setting here was configured because the player assigned me into the task, and this was executed and this was set for me. All right, so so now I'm having I'm having my scores, and I can follow up my scores with F1, F2, and I can see a detailed summary, a detailed score report, which it looks like this. So player killer got 215 points. I hit 7 vehicles. I destroyed 8. I got 7 points for vehicles. I got 8 points for vehicles destroys. And I think I should do the count as well, how many vehicles I hit and how many vehicles I destroyed, and even with the types. But it's all in the system. I just need to develop those reports. Another one is important because I attached the scoring to the mission, remember, and that was here, right? This here, because I now achieved a goal, the tasks, I got 200 points, it says, for mission overload. And this is important. Now what the 0 is doing there, I don't know, I think it's a bug. But as you can see, as this class is in progress and being fine-tuned, and if people start using it, you know, I think this will be something really very nice for the DCS community to use. Imagine you have in your source 4 missions defined with 4 task dispatchers with 3 different detection area detections and 1 detection unit and 1 detection types and so on and so on. If you can develop a little bit in Lua, this will be a very exciting system to use. So I hope you enjoyed it, and I'm going to make a couple of other videos next week. And I hope you enjoy this one. Bye bye. Thanks.